It's Bailey's Comparison O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Now, some of you will know this series has been about me buying alternative supermarket bottles of Bailey's and putting it up against the real thing. Every other supermarket has had their own version. Marks and Spencer's got a good version. Tesco's has a nice version. Even Lidl and Aldi have a nice version. Not been to Sainsbury's yet. Got to get myself to Sainsbury's. And Morrison's as well have a good comparison to Bailey's, an alternative to Bailey's. But I went to ASDA and their version of Bailey's seemed really strange. I went to see like somebody in charge to say, is this not to complain, but just to make sure, because I know in the comments box you guys might say, oh no, ASDA do have their own kind of extra special version of Bailey's. But it turns out they don't. This is Causeway Coast Country Cream. Nothing on the back of here says ASDA. Pardon me. But it comes in at 12% ABV and is only £4.50 compared to the real Bailey's Original, which is 17% ABV. And when not on offer, about £12 as of 2021. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, this is going to be a completely unfair versus match. ASDA's version versus the real Bailey's, because Bailey's is 5% ABV more, and this is a hell of a lot cheaper. But I think that I have to put up an alternative. There's going to be people shopping in ASDA this year, or most years at Christmas, looking for an alternative to Bailey's, because generally the supermarket's alternatives are a few pounds off. But £4.50, that's huge. So we are going to put it up against Bailey's, because there are going to be people out there who are interested in the video. So we're going to start off by pouring the real Bailey's. Let me get myself some ice in the glasses. So the Bailey's has some we got 4 cubes of ice. Let's go 6. 6 cubes of ice in the Bailey's glass. 6 cubes of ice in this glass. So let's pour the Bailey's first and foremost, so we don't get confused and we don't mix it up. The only other supermarkets that I've not got round to doing yet, and that's only because they're a fair old way away, and I'll try and get them if and when I can, is the Sainsbury's version. I need to buy a Sainsbury's own version of Bailey's, of course, if they do one, and maybe Waitrose, if Waitrose do their own version. So this is the £4.50 one from ASDA. I mean, let's have a look at the pour. Oh, that looks very different. Oh my goodness me, that looks very, very different. That looks really thin. But I mean, what can you expect? The price difference is so much. Yeah. That classic Bailey's has that lovely, look at the lactose sticking to the side of that glass. And then the ASDA's version there's a little bit of stick there, but it's more alcohol lines. The colour as well, the colour is quite a bit darker on the ASDA version, but it looks quite a bit thinner. Aroma for the Bailey's then. Yeah, we're in the middle of our second named storm of the year. We're less than 3 weeks before Christmas. It's not even trying to get light today outside. And I couldn't think of a better thing to be doing right now than getting my nose into a glass of Bailey's to warm me up. Because Yeah, it's just horrid out there. It's absolutely tumping with rain. 50-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I'm quite happy here. My glass of Baileys. This is lovely. Toffees and milks and nice kind of kick of whiskey. Let's dive in. Actually, let's get the aroma of this Causeway Coast. In fairness, it smells okay. More of a sticky toffee, more of a, like that brittle toffee hammer. The old bit of hard toffee which used to get a little hammer with to break it up with. It's got that kind of nose to it. In fairness, the nose is holding on, but I think it's going to be the taste. I think it's going to be the body, if you like, of the Baileys that's going to win out over this stuff. But hey, who knows? We haven't tried it yet. So tasting the Baileys. Something I have picked up doing the comparison videos is just how sweet Baileys is compared to some of the other Irish cream liqueurs. Like if you try Marks and Spencer's version, it's got a lovely kick of alcohol to it. The Baileys, I think they've worked on a way, a bit like how the farmers have worked on Brussels sprouts to take the bitterness away from Brussels sprouts. It's almost like the head honchos, the scientific people at Baileys have been able to kind of try and take the alcohol taste away. And they've done that by adding a ton of sweetness to it. There is a nice warming in the throat. It's there. But it's a very, very sweet drink. That's what I've kind of learned from this whole process. From putting up different... I didn't think I'd learn that much in terms of putting up different Baileys, supermarket Baileys up against the real thing. But yeah, but the one thing I have noticed is just how sweet Baileys is. Lovely, thick, creamy mouthfeel. 17% ABV, toffee, whiskey, a buttery, creamy flavour. Yeah, I still love a Baileys, of course. ASDA Causeway Coast Country Cream. Here we go. Oh my goodness me. This is by far, like if you watch the Baileys versus Morrison's version of the Baileys, you'll see that it's more or less neck and neck. There's not much in it. Same could be said for Tesco's version of Baileys. There's not much in it. Lidl version of Baileys, there's not much in it. The comparison videos. This is by far the biggest gap in terms of flavour compared to Baileys. It's like they're not even trying. It's quite thin. It is lactosey. It has a bit of that kind of toffee coming through, that brittle toffee hammer toffee. I think where I need to go with this video, take it in a slightly different direction. And that's price. Let's conclude, first of all, the Baileys versus ASDA Causeway Coast Country Cream. Baileys wins hands down. Hands down. I'd much prefer to buy a bottle of Baileys. But this is the direction I'm going to take the video in now. There's people out there that they simply don't have £12 for a bottle of Baileys. I'll tell you a quick story. My father-in-law, when they first moved to Italy, surprised my mother-in-law. This is a story that I was told. It's like a distant kind of story. They emigrated to Italy. On their first year, they were absolutely brassic. They had no money whatsoever. He somehow got hold of a bottle of Baileys because his wife was missing home, missing the UK, and she wanted to try something from home at Christmas time. So he scraped and saved and got a bottle of Baileys. He dropped the bottle of Baileys in his hallway, tile floors in Italy. The bottle broke and the man was in tears. I'm pretty sure he won't mind me mentioning this story because it's a pretty kind of talked about story in the family. In absolute tears because it just didn't have anything to and she was there as well, so you know it wasn't like it was an excuse that he didn't buy a bottle. She's seen it happen. So what I'm trying to get at is there's certain circumstances in life where you literally don't have £12 for a bottle of Baileys. So the way I'm going to take this video is now in a direction of if you could scrimp together £4.50 for a bottle of Baileys or a cheap bottle of this Causeway Coast, is it drinkable? Yes. Yes, it is. It is. It's not Baileys. It's not really that close to Baileys. But I think if you close your eyes and you think hard enough and you forget that you're not drinking Baileys, then I think you could pretty much enjoy this. It's got a nice kind of lactosey flavour to it. I like the toffee hammer, brittle toffee flavours to it. There's not much of a kick of alcohol, but I mean, hey ho, you may not want that. It's very sweet, but yeah, it's drinkable. It's passable, it's drinkable. For the money, for that £4.50, you're getting 750 millilitres compared to the Baileys 1 litre for that price. So I suppose there's a little bit of room for manoeuvre there in terms of kind of what you get for your money. It's acceptable. It's acceptable. So I'm just going to rate the Causeway Coast. I'll rate the Baileys as well. I'm going to give the Baileys a 7 out of 10. And I'm going to give the Causeway Coast, I mean, in terms of price, value for money, what you're getting, the fact that you can even get a bottle for that price, I think it's worthy of a 6. 6 out of 10. I hope you liked the video. I hope you didn't find me being too kind of patronising in this video when I talk about price. But I like to talk about price in videos because not all of us have got... I hadn't for many years had money, and I don't have money now. And I've been in this situation where I've not been able to afford a bottle of Baileys at Christmas. And it stinks, to be honest. And I've had occasions where I've got a really friendly neighbour who's really good at making homemade Baileys, and she'll knock up a bottle and a Coke bottle for me. I've been in that situation as well. And that's all fine because her homemade Baileys was amazing and it was free. So I did my best to kind of explain and make it kind of feasible to buy this bottle if you've only got a few pounds spare. A blend of fermented alcohol, fresh cream and spirit with chocolate flavour. Yeah, £4.50, 12% ABV, 6 out of 10. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.